Welcome to episode 18 of A Journey into the Light. Today I'm reading from the Gospel of Thomas, compiled from the Nag Hammadi Library, Codex II, and other documents such as the Oxyrhynchus Papyri. Yehuda Talma, or Judas Thomas, also known as the twin brother of Jesus, does not give us a narrative gospel of the life and times of Jesus, but rather a wisdom gospel, which is a collection of sayings and parables that Jesus spoke. Many of these sayings are so well known already from the New Testament that I'll be skipping over a few of those in this text and focusing on the more obscure ones. Personally, I have found that while gathering knowledge and gaining wisdom, it is more important to simply soak it all in and not attempt to do such heavy analysis of every jot and tittle, because the more knowledge you absorb, the wisdom within will begin to reveal itself and unfold in miraculous ways. I've also learned from listening to scholars such as Stephen Ben-Nun at Israeli News Live that some of those jots and tittles have been misrepresented by those who seek to lead others astray. So soak in what you can and don't throw the baby out with the bathwater either. Enjoy the journey and may your adventure be endless. So, for those who have ears to hear, this is the Gospel of Thomas. These are the hidden sayings that the living Yeshua, Jesus, spoke, and Yehuda Talma, Judas Thomas, the twin, recorded. And Yeshua said, "Whoever discovers what these sayings mean will not taste death." Yeshua said, "Seek and do not stop seeking until you find. When you find, you will be troubled. When you are troubled, you will marvel and rule over all. And having ruled, you will rest." Yeshua said, "If your leaders tell you, 'Look, the kingdom is in heaven,' then the birds of heaven will precede you. If they say to you, 'It's in the sea,' then the fish will precede you. But the kingdom is inside you, and it is outside you. When you know yourselves, then you will be known, and you will understand that you are children of the living Father. But if you do not know yourselves, then you will dwell in poverty, and you are poverty." Yeshua said, "A person old in days will not hesitate to ask a little child 7 days old about the place of life, and the person will live. For many of the first will be last and become a single one." And it is also said elsewhere, that line says, "One who seeks will find me in children from 7 years, for there, hidden in the 14th age, I am revealed." Yeshua said, "Know what is in front of your face, and what is hidden from you will be disclosed. There is nothing hidden that will not be revealed, and nothing buried that will not be raised." His students asked him and said to him, "Do you want us to fast? How should we pray? Should we give to charity? What diet should we observe?" Yeshua said, "Do not lie, and do not do what you hate. All things are disclosed before heaven. There is nothing hidden that will not be revealed, nothing covered that will remain undisclosed." Yeshua said to them, "If you fast, you will bring sin upon yourselves. If you pray, you will be condemned. And if you give to charity, you will harm your spirits. When you go into any region and walk through the countryside, and people receive you, eat what they serve you, and heal the sick among them. What goes into your mouth will not defile you, but what comes out of your mouth will defile you." Yeshua said, "Blessings on the lion if a human eats it, making the lion human. Foul is the human if a lion eats it, and making the lion human." This obscure saying seems to appeal to the lion as a symbol of all that is passionate and bestial, The passions may either be consumed by a person or consume a person. Yeshua said, I have thrown fire upon the world, and look, I am watching till it blazes. Yeshua said, this heaven will pass away, and the one above it will pass away. The dead are not alive, and the living will not die. During the days when you ate what is dead, you made it alive. When you are in the light, what will you do? On the day when you were one, you became two. But when you became two, what will you do? The students said to Yeshua, we know you will leave us. Who will be our leader? Yeshua said to them, wherever you are, seek out Yaakov the just. That's James the just, the brother of Jesus, leader of the church of Jerusalem. Yeshua said, for his sake heaven and earth came into being. Yeshua said to his students, compare me to something and tell me what I am like. Simon Peter said to him, you are like a just messenger. Matthew said to him, you are like a wise philosopher. Thomas said to him, Rabbi, meaning teacher, my mouth is utterly unable to say what you are like. Yeshua said, I am not your Rabbi. Because you have drunk, you are intoxicated from the bubbling spring I tended. And he took him and withdrew, and spoke 3 sayings to him. When Thomas came back to his friends, they asked him, what did Yeshua say to you? Thomas said, if I tell you one of the sayings he spoke to me, you will pick up rocks and stone me for blasphemy, and fire will come out of the rocks and consume you. Yeshua said, when you see one not born of woman, fall on your faces and worship. That is your Father. Yeshua said, people may think I have come to impose peace upon the world. They do not know that I have come to impose conflicts upon the earth, fire, sword, war. For there will be 5 in a house. There will be 3 against 2, and 2 against 3, father against son, and son against father, and they will stand alone. Yeshua said, I shall give you what no eye has seen, what no ear has heard, and what no hand has touched, what has not arisen in the human heart. The students said to Yeshua, tell us how our end will be. Yeshua said, you have discovered the beginning, and now you are seeking the end. Where the beginning is, the end will be. Blessings on you who stand at the beginning. You will know the end and not taste death. Yeshua said, blessings on you who came into being before coming into being. If you become my students and hear my sayings, these stones will serve you. For there are 5 trees in paradise for you. Summer or winter they do not change, and their leaves do not fall. Whoever knows them will not taste death. The students said to Yeshua, tell us what the kingdom of heaven is like. He said to them, it is like a mustard seed, the tiniest of seeds, but when it falls on prepared soil, it produces a great plant and becomes a shelter for the birds of heaven. Miriam, or Mary, said to Yeshua, what are your students like? He said, they are like little children living in a field that is not theirs. When the owners of the field come, they will say, give our field back to us. The children take off their clothes in front of them and give it back, and they return their field to them. So I say, if the owner of a house knows that a thief is coming, he will be on guard before the thief arrives, and will not let the thief break into the house of his estate and steal his possessions. As for you, be on guard against the world. Arm yourselves with great strength, or the robbers will find a way to reach you, for the trouble you expect will come. Let someone among you understand. When the crop ripened, the reaper came quickly with sickle in hand and harvested it. Whoever has ears to hear should hear. Yeshua saw some babies nursing. He said to his students, "These nursing babies are like those who enter the kingdom." They said to him, "Then shall we enter the kingdom as babies?" Yeshua said to them, "When you make the two into one, and when you make the inner like the outer like the inner, and the upper like the lower, and when you make male and female into a single one, so that the male will not be male, nor the female be female, when you make eyes in place of an eye, a hand in place of a hand, a foot in place of a foot, an image in place of an image, then you will enter the kingdom." Yeshua said, "I shall choose you as one from 1,000, and as two from 10,000, and they will stand as a single one." His students said, "Show us the place where you are. We must seek it." He said to them, "Whoever has ears should hear. There is light within a person of light, and he shines on the whole world. If he does not shine, he is dark." Yeshua said, "Love your brother like your soul. Protect that person like the pupil of your eye." Yeshua said, "You seek the speck in your brother's eye, but not the beam in your own eye. When you take the beam out of your own eye, then you will see clearly to take the speck out of your brother's eye. If you do not fast from the world, you will not find the kingdom. If you do not observe the Sabbath as Sabbath, you will not see the Father." Yeshua said, "I took my stand in the midst of the world, and I appeared to them in flesh. I found them all drunk, yet none of them thirsty. My soul ached for the human children, because they are blind in their hearts and do not see. They came into the world empty, and seek to depart from the world empty. But now they are drunk. When they shake off their wine, they will repent." Yeshua said, "If the flesh came into being because of spirit, it is a marvel. But if spirit came into being because of body, it is a marvel of marvels. Yet I marvel at how this great wealth has come to dwell in this poverty." Yeshua said, "Where there are 3 deities, they are divine. Where there are 2 or 1, I am with that one." Yeshua said, "A prophet is not accepted in the hometown. A doctor does not heal those who know the doctor." Yeshua said, "A city built upon a high hill and fortified cannot fall, nor can it be hidden." Yeshua said, "What you will hear in your ear, proclaim from your rooftops. No one lights a lamp and puts it under a basket, nor in a hidden place. You put it on a stand so that all who come and go will see its light." Yeshua said, "If a blind person leads a blind person, both will fall in a hole." Yeshua said, "You cannot enter the house of the strong and take it by force without binding the owner's hands. Then you can loot the house." His students said, "When will you appear to us, and when shall we see you?" Yeshua said, "When you strip naked without being ashamed, and take your clothes and put them under your feet, like small children, and trample them. Then you will see the child of the living one, and you will not be afraid." Yeshua said, "Often you wanted to hear these sayings I am telling you, and you have no one else from whom to hear them. There will be days when you will seek me, and you will not find me." Yeshua said, "The Pharisees and the scholars have taken the keys of knowledge and have hidden them. They have not entered, nor have they allowed those who want to enter to go inside. You should be shrewd as snakes and innocent as doves." Yeshua said, "A grapevine has been planted far from the Father. Since it is not strong, it will be pulled up by the root and perish." Yeshua said, "Whoever has something in hand will be given more, and whoever has nothing will be deprived of the paltry things possessed." Yeshua said, "The world is a bridge. Pass over it, but do not build your dwelling there." His students said to him, "Who are you to say these things to us?" Yeshua said, "From what I tell you, you do not know who I am. But you have become like the Jews. They love the tree but hate its fruit, or love the fruit but hate the tree." Yeshua said, "Whoever blasphemes against the Father will be forgiven. Whoever blasphemes against the Son will be forgiven. But whoever blasphemes against the Holy Spirit will not be forgiven, either on earth or in heaven." Yeshua said, "Grapes are not harvested from thorn trees, nor are figs gathered from thistles. They yield no fruit. A good person brings forth good from the storehouse. A bad person brings forth evil things from the corrupt storehouses in the heart, and says evil things. From the abundance of the heart, such a person brings forth evil." Yeshua said, "From Adam to John the Baptizer, among those born of women, no one of you is so much greater than John that your eyes should not be averted. But I have said that whoever among you becomes a child will know the kingdom and become greater than John." Yeshua said, "If two make peace with each other in one house, they will tell the mountain, 'Move,' and the mountain will move." Yeshua said, "Blessings on you who are alone and chosen, for you will find the kingdom. You have come from it and will return there again." Yeshua said, "If they say to you, 'Where have you come from?' say to them, 'We have come from the light,' the place where the light came into being by itself, established itself, and appeared in their image. If they say to you, 'Is it you?' say, 'We are its children and the chosen of the living Father.' If they ask you, 'What is the evidence of your Father in you?' say to them, 'It is motion and rest.'" His students said to him, "When will the dead rest? When will the new world come?" He said to them, "What you look for has come, but you do not know it." His students said to him, 24 prophets have spoken in Israel, and they all spoke of you." He said to them, "You have disregarded the living one among you, and have spoken of the dead." Yeshua said, "Whoever has come to know the world has discovered a carcass. And whoever has discovered a carcass, of that person the world is not worthy." Yeshua said, "The Father's kingdom is like someone with good seed. His enemy came at night and sowed weeds among the good seed. He did not let them pull up the weeds, but said to them, 'No, or you might go to pull up the weeds and pull up the wheat along with them. On harvest day the weeds will be conspicuous and will be pulled up and burned.'" Yeshua said, "Look to the living one as long as you live, or you may die and try to see the living one, and you will not be able to see." Yeshua said, "I disclose my mysteries to those who are worthy of my mysteries. Do not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing." Yeshua said, "There was a rich person who was very wealthy. He said, 'I shall invest my money so I may sow, reap, plant, and fill my storehouses with produce. Then I shall lack nothing.' This is what he was thinking in his heart, but that very night he died. Whoever has ears should hear." He said, "A person owned a vineyard and rented it to some farmers to work it, and from them he would collect its produce. He sent his servant for the farmers to give him the produce of the vineyard. They seized, beat, and almost killed his servant, who returned and told his master. His master said, 'Perhaps he did not know them.' And he sent them another servant, but they beat him as well. Then the master sent his son, and said, 'Perhaps they will respect my son.' Since the farmers knew the son was the heir of the vineyard, they seized him and killed him. Whoever has ears should hear." Yeshua said, "Show me the stone that the builders rejected. That is the cornerstone. Yeshua said, "One who knows all but lacks within is utterly lacking." Yeshua said, "Blessings on you who have been persecuted in your hearts. Only you truly know the Father. Blessings on you who are hungry, that the stomach of someone else in want may be filled." Yeshua said, "If you bring forth what is within you, what you have will save you. If you have nothing within you, what you do not have within you will kill you." Yeshua said, "The harvest is large, but the workers are few. Beg the Master to send out workers to the harvest." Yeshua said, "There are many standing at the door, but those who are alone will enter the wedding chamber." Yeshua said, "The Father's kingdom is like a merchant who owned a supply of merchandise and found a pearl. The merchant was prudent. He sold his goods and bought the single pearl for himself. So with you, seek his treasure that is unfailing and enduring, where no moth comes to devour and no worm destroys." Yeshua said, "I am the light over all things. I am all. From me all has come forth, and to me all has reached. Split a piece of wood, I am there. Lift up the stone, and you will find me there." A woman in the crowd said to him, "Blessings on the womb that bore you, and the breasts that fed you." He said to her, "Blessings on those who have heard the word of the Father, and have truly kept it. Days will come when you will say, 'Blessings on the womb that has not conceived, and the breasts that have not given milk.'" Yeshua said, "Whoever has come to know the world has discovered the body, and whoever has discovered the body, of that person the world is not worthy." Yeshua said, "Whoever is near me is near fire, and whoever is far from me is far from the kingdom." Yeshua said, "You see images, but the light within them is hidden in the image of the Father's light. He will be disclosed, but his image is hidden by his light." Yeshua said, "When you see your likeness, you are happy. But when you see your images that came into being before you, and that neither die nor become visible, how much you will bear." Yeshua said, "Adam came from great power and great wealth, but he is not worthy of you. Had he been worthy, he would not have tasted death." Yeshua said, "Foxes have their dens, and birds have their nests, but the Son of Man has no place to lay his head and rest." Yeshua said, "How miserable is the body that depends on a body, and how miserable is the soul that depends on both." Yeshua said, "The messengers and the prophets will come to you and give you what is yours. You give them what you have and wonder, when will they come and take what is theirs?" Yeshua said, "Why do you wash the outside of the cup? Don't you understand that the one who made the inside also made the outside?" Yeshua said, "Come to me, for my yoke is easy and my mastery gentle, and you will find rest for yourselves." They said to him, "Tell us who you are so that we may believe in you." He said to them, "You examine the face of heaven and earth, but you have not come to know the one who is in your presence, and you do not know how to examine this moment." Yeshua said, "Seek and you will find. In the past I did not tell you the things about which you ask me. Now I am willing to tell you, but you do not seek them." Yeshua said, "One who seeks will find. For one who knocks, it will be opened." Yeshua said, "If you have money, do not lend it at interest, but give it to someone from whom you will not get it back." Yeshua said, "The Father's kingdom is like a woman who took a little yeast, hid it in dough, and made large loaves of bread. Whoever has ears should hear. Yeshua said, "The Father's kingdom is like a woman who was carrying a jar full of meal. While she was walking along a distant road, the handle of the jar broke, and the meal spilled behind her along the road. She did not know it. She noticed no problem. When she reached her house, she put the jar down and found it empty." Yeshua said, "The Father's kingdom is like a person who wanted to put someone powerful to death. While at home, he drew his sword and thrust it into the wall to find out whether his hand would go in. Then he killed the powerful person. The students said to him, 'Your brothers and mother are standing outside.' He said to them, 'Those here who do the will of my Father are my brothers and mother. They will enter my Father's kingdom.'" Yeshua said, "Shame on the Pharisees. They are like a dog sleeping in the cattle manger. It does not eat or let the cattle eat." Yeshua said, "Blessings on you if you know where the robbers will enter, so you can wake up, rouse your estate, and arm yourself before they break in." They said to Yeshua, "Come, let us pray today and fast." Yeshua said, "What sin have I committed? Or how have I been undone? When the bridegroom leaves the wedding chamber, then let the people fast and pray." Yeshua said, "The kingdom is like a shepherd who had 100 sheep. One of them, the largest, went astray. He left the 99 and looked for the one until he found it. After so much trouble, he said to the sheep, 'I love you more than the 99. Yeshua said, "Whoever drinks from my mouth will become like me. I myself shall become that person, and the hidden things will be revealed to that one." Yeshua said, "The kingdom is like a person who had a treasure hidden in his field. He did not know it, and when he died he left it to his son. The son did not know about it. He took over the field and sold it. The buyer was plowing and found the treasure, and began to lend money at interest to whomever he wished." Yeshua said, "You who have found the world and become wealthy, renounce the world." Yeshua said, "The heavens and earth will roll up in your presence, and you who live from the living one will not see death." Doesn't Yeshua say this? Whoever has found oneself, of that person the world is not worthy. Yeshua said, "Shame on the flesh that depends on the soul. Shame on the soul that depends on the flesh." His students said to him, "When will the kingdom come?" Yeshua said, "It will not come because you are watching for it. No one will announce it, 'Look, here it is,' or 'Look, there it is.' The Father's kingdom is spread out upon the earth, and people do not see it."